proceeded, when Jesus saw him lie and knew that he had been long time in that cave, he said unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? And the impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man when the water is troubled to put me into the pool, but while I am coming, another steppeth down before me. I just want you to know something. Life has a funny way, don't it? Causing problems and rendering people helpless and hopeless and making people feel powerless. When I looked up that particular word about impotent, I said it meant unable to take effective action. It made you feel helpless or powerless. And the situation this man was in for 38 years, the thing that made him feel helpless was the fact that he could not walk. Now, I want you to hold that thought because I'm finna mess you up on that in a minute. But it was the fact that he could, for 38 years, somebody had to bring him to the pool because according to, if I'm reading right, it said that in a certain season, the angel troubled the water. And I'm thinking if you can't walk, how do you get there every year at the pool? Why y'all ain't talking to me? And too many people come to church every Sunday and they ain't changed. They're not growing. They're not getting blessed by God. You at the same service where you saw people getting healed. And I don't know how many people paid attention to the last Sunday Mike was here. We had him pray for King Allen because I already knew what he was going through. And when we prayed, I remember Allen saying that he had a ringing in the ear. When he asked, he said, well, what you hear now? He said, I don't hear nothing right now. Which is what his response was. And so I was saying that there were other people in the congregation that should have come up for healing. Is that right? Oh, we going somewhere with this. Now check this out. This man's condition, he had been in this condition so long until it had become the normal to him. Have you ever had something going wrong so long till you stop praying about it? You stop believing God about it? You think, well, God, I know you can, but it must not be your will that I get, y'all ain't talking, that I get out of this. God, I've been going through this a long time. Why you playing with me? Why do we get angry with God? Because we don't see the results right now. Man. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. I remember in 2010 when I had the heart problem. I had the heart surgery. I was thinking, okay, now, you telling me to get up and tell people how you a healer. You want me to tell people what you can do. And here I am laying over here in Baptist Hospital being cut open. Anybody ever feel like that? And then you wonder, God, what's going on? Well, I'm here to let you know something because when I read this scripture, there are some things that stood out to me. The first thing I see in verse 6 with Jesus, the Bible said Jesus saw the man lie. Is that what it said? He knew that the man was laying there. And I said, well, the first thing God wants me to know that he sees you. I don't care how long you've been going through what you're going through. God sees you. God knows what you're going through. Look what it said right after it said Jesus saw the man lie. Then he said, and knew that he had been in that state for a long time. He knows how long you've been going through what you've been going through. God have heard you pray the first time. Just because he didn't move in a hurry don't mean God ain't moving. See, God knows sometimes that he has to allow us to go through some things to get some old stuff out of us. Y'all ain't hearing that. Y'all ain't hearing that. See, in one scripture talk about in the year that King Uzziah died, that was the year I saw the Lord. Some of us will never find God until some stuff dies. Y'all hear me? It's some stuff we holding on to. God said it have to die. Because all God is worried about is the big picture. There are some people been going through some of the stuff that you going through, and if you can't take it, how do you expect them to take it? Amen. Let me get on back, y'all. I'm trying to stay in a certain place. Now, not only did Jesus See that the man had been there and in that case a long time. He said unto him, I'm going to paraphrase, do you want to be made well? I think that was New King James said, do you want to be made well? He said, do you want to be made whole? And I thought about some people don't mind being sick, because now that you're sick, you're getting all the attention, you're getting the pity part, you're getting everything you really want. But do you really want to be made whole? Do you really want to be loose from your infirmities? Do you don't want to be impotent anymore? You want to be whole? Do you want to have the ability to fend for yourself? But look at the man's reply. Now, Jesus asked a simple question, you want me well? And the man started giving all kinds of excuses. Doesn't that sound like church people? I ain't gonna say that sound like us. Amen. And look what he said. The first thing he said that, sir, look, I ain't got nobody that put me in the water. Every time the water get trouble, when I start walking in or when I start moving toward the water, somebody step in front of me. Now, you remember I told you in the beginning that the man couldn't walk. Now I got an issue.
All right now.
Now, how is you moving toward the water?
All right now.
That's crazy, ain't it? Now you said that your problem for 38 years is that you were immobile. You couldn't walk. You were impotent. Now you saying every time you move toward the water, somebody step in front of you.
All right.
Well, there was some things that God began to pick out of that, because it really wasn't important how crippled he was. Because I used to always say, well, if you can't walk, crawl. If you can't crawl, just roll. Y'all don't know that about. I've been messing that up. I've been the age now, I can't roll too much, y'all. Amen. But look at this. Look at what God is showing us. Now, not only did he know how long the man been there, but this man had been in that way so long till he didn't even want help.
Amen.
Hey, it sound right there.
Amen.
He didn't even want him. Have you ever, have something happen and it mess you up and devastate you to the point that when people are willing to help you, you smack their hand back? Right. Nobody ever offered to help this man. Nobody had ever offered to help this man. Although his friends or whoever it was brought him to the pool every season, nobody would even dump him in the water. Ain't that something? It seemed like if they cared enough about him, when they set him down, they would set him close enough to the water where he didn't roll off the pallet in the water. But nobody cared. Wait a minute, I better be careful. That sounds like church folks again, don't it? See, we don't need you when we can do it ourselves. We need you praying, and we need to see you when we can't do it. It made me think about every time something happened, just like the killing in Florida, the first thing people said, our thoughts and prayers are with you. No, I need your help now. I'm going through something that is life-changing, and I need some help. This man that had been sick for 38 years had lost all hope of ever being helped. He thought that this way of life was the way he was going to be until the return of Christ. You ever felt like that? Well, maybe that's what God wants me to do, just keep on going through, Maybe I help somebody else, I just go through. But God is not that kind of God. God has a way, the songwriter said that mighty sweet. But what God wants to do is to use your condition to show other people how he can heal.
Amen.
What we got to do, even if we're going through a long time, is change the way we perceive it or change the way we talk about it. See, it's easy to tell somebody I'm going through and they cry on your shoulder, you cry on there. But what about trying this for a change? When you're feeling sick, tell somebody, well, by his stripes I'm healed. You ain't lying. Because then the scripture said, by his stripes that we are healed. Quit telling people how hard or how bad your headache is. And start telling your headache how bad God is. Oh, we better leave it alone. We better leave it alone. See, I'm learning some things. Because when I found out that God tried to impart in us that he loved us enough that he would do anything for us. The Bible says he will not withhold any good thing. Y'all ain't hearing me today. If you love the Lord, guess what? Everything good you supposed to have. If you love the Lord, you're supposed to have money. If you love the Lord, you're supposed to have good health. If you love the Lord, you're supposed to be able to prosper. Amen. Isn't that scripture? The problem is we become like this man. We become callous because we have been sick too long. I ain't been able to walk in 38 years. I know I ain't going to be able to walk now. But look what Jesus did. Even though he started giving all these excuses, ain't nobody here to put me in the water every time I move, somebody step in front of me and all this stuff. Jesus just looked at him and said, take up your bed and walk. And I kept looking. I said, okay, but look, Lord, now I'm confused. Because what confused me is, I don't see anywhere where he recognized at first who Jesus is. I don't see anywhere where Jesus convinced him first to think a different way. But what I do see in this little part, and when Jesus said, take up thy bed and walk, the Bible said in the next verse that he picked up his bed. Immediately he picked up the bed and started to walk. I said, okay, Lord, what am I missing? God said, look at his obedience. Did they miss it, Steve? God said, look at his obedience. It's better to obey than to sacrifice. Why you think a lot of unsaved people seem to prosper and do things that saved people supposed to be doing? Because they're obedient. When God said move, they don't say, wait a minute, God, where we going? Why you got to do it that way? God, I don't know. I don't see it. They move. God tell us to move, and we got to know why, where, when, what time, and how long we going to be traveling. Obedience in God means that I trust you enough to think that you know what you're talking about. This man just picked up his bed and started walking.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Immediately.
Didn't he do it?
Yes.
How many of you have been believing God for something? And you ain't saying it happened yet. But in your mind, you know what God has showed you. I told my wife last week, this week past, we were sitting there eating, and I told her, I said, I'm going to be losing my mind. And she said, what the problem? I said, God showed me something. I said, and when I look, I don't see it being manifested. I said, but I believe that what he showed me it was going to happen. And she kind of looked at me a little bit. You know how y'all do when we say crazy stuff. And I said, I looked at my church and it was full of people.
Speak it. Oh, glory. That's right.
I said, at first I was focused on the empty seats. But God changed something. He had to change my focus. Don't worry about who ain't here, worry about who is here. Because everyone have a soul. Well, y'all missing it. Y'all about to miss it. Don't get stuck on what I said about the empty seat. Get stuck on what I'm saying about the full seat. Because what it is, God wants us and New Life. I keep hearing everybody saying New Life is a different church and a different ministry. And all the stuff that God is doing in New Life, he imparted some things in us. Amen. Are you ready for who he fitting to send? Look what was at the pool at Bethesda. According to the word of God, I believe it's all the way back in verse 2 maybe, it was talking about it was a lot of impotent folks. All these sick people. Y'all catch it today. They was around the pool or around the porch. There were 5 porches. They were filled with sick people. But before God started healing those sick people, He got to heal these sick people. They ain't getting this effect. Because somebody got to be the leader.
That's right.
When Jesus called the disciples, He didn't start with the 72.
No, he didn't.
He started with the 12.
Yes.
That's right.
Y'all get it?
Yes.
God is trying to teach us something. Not only is He teaching us obedience, He's teaching us that He can control anything. After 38 years, and after Jesus saw the man, after Jesus spoke to the man, after He commanded the man to pick up his bed, it didn't matter what the man feeling was for 38 years, because immediately now the man got a new attitude.
Yes.
Got a new attitude. And check this out. Don't think everybody gonna be happy when God bless you. I'm gonna back that up, Hannah. Look at what happened in the next couple of verses. The Pharisees got mad because they said, wait, who took you your bed on the Sabbath day? What are you doing? Missed the whole blessing. You can't convince me. But you can't convince me that they didn't know that this was the same man that was sitting at the pool. If you were so concerned about, why didn't you put him in the water?
Come on now, Jesus.
Y'all got it? But I know He's going to bless. Because according to the word of God, it said He will prepare a table for me in the presence of my enemy. That you really call in your face.
Amen.
Ain't that something?
Amen.
God started blessing you. And He don't care about how mad you get. You know what He'll make them turn around and bless you too.
Amen.
Rest on your feet.